Okay, Boolean 2, same thing. Boolean 2 selected, hold shift, select the lower pulley, control P, object, set parent to object. Takes a second. Okay, and then go to Boolean 3 in the outliner, select it, and then shift select the lower pulley, hold control, press P, set parent to object. Okay, and let's zoom out, and now we might as well add the fourth modifier to the rope. So let's just go back to rope segment 1. Okay, so we selected rope segment 1, and we're going to add the fourth modifier. We're going to add the mirror modifier. So it puts it over on the left side over here. It takes a second. It's got 700 iterations, so it takes a little bit longer. It'll take a little longer than the other segments. Okay, rope segment 2. Add modifier, mirror. Okay. And then rope segment 3, mirror. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add a cube. Let's zoom out here and move this up. Shift A, mesh, cube. We're going to scale the cube down, S.5. Then we're going to move it down on the z-axis, GZ -40. Enter. And then we're going to press period on the numpad. Takes us up close and zoom out. We're going to scale this up on the x-axis, SX21. We're going to duplicate it, Shift D. We're going to rotate the duplicate on the y-axis, RY90. We're going to scale the duplicate up on the z-axis, SZ1.35. Then we're going to move this over on the x-axis, GX. Just move it over here to the left here. And might as well line it up. So go into wireframe view. You can. It's lined up. Okay. Let's move it a little bit here to the left. Okay. And then back to material view. Okay. Now we're going to apply all transforms on this because we're going to duplicate it, and it's been rotated. So hold Control, press A, apply all transforms. Let's duplicate it once here, Shift D, and then just move this duplicate over here. We're going to use that later. Let's duplicate again, Shift D, move the duplicate over here. We're going to scale the duplicate down on the x-axis, SX.5, and then we're going to move it back to about here, and we're going to give it a modifier, the array modifier. We're going to put the x factor to 3, and then we're going to put the count to 12, and then immediately we're going to go up here to this arrow here, and we're going to apply the modifier. We need to do that because we're going to join everything, and it's not going to join if you don't do that. Okay, so what we're doing is we're making the gate. Let's select this horizontal beam. Let's move it down, GZ, move it down here to the bottom. Let's duplicate it, Shift D. Let's move the duplicate up on the Z-axis, GZ. Let's scale this down on the Z-axis, SZ.5. And then let's add a modifier. We're going to add the array modifier to this one. We're going to put the x factor at 0 on this one, and then we're going to put the z factor at 3. And then we're going to put the count to 17. And then immediately we're going to go up here to this arrow, and we're going to apply this modifier. Now let's go over here to the first vertical beam, and we're going to give this a modifier. We're going to give it the mirror modifier, and again we're going to go up here to this arrow, we're going to apply this. Okay, now let's just straighten these middle vertical beams out, GX. Straighten it out so you have squares as much as you can get them even. Okay, then let's select the lower horizontal beam. We'll duplicate it, Shift D. We're going to move the duplicate up on the Z-axis, GZ, just move it up right there. And then let's just join everything. Let's just select everything. So with the cursor up here at the top, you can go down like this all the way to the bottom, and then over here, and that selects everything. We're going to join them. Control J, that joins them, and then you'll have this cube of 5, and then you'll just click on there twice, and we're just gonna name this gate. Okay, and we're gonna go down here to material properties. We'll give it the wood color, wood. Okay, now what we're gonna do is you can leave it zoomed out, but we're gonna add a cone. Shift A, mesh, cone. I'm gonna make spikes for the top of the gate. So we're gonna move. We added the cone. Let's move it down here. let's press period on the numpad. Let's zoom out a little bit. We're just gonna scale this up on the z-axis, SZ, so it's like about this shape. Then we're gonna scale it down. Just press S and scale it down to about that. And then we're just gonna move it, G, just move it right about here. And then we're gonna give it a modifier. Go over here to the modifier properties, add modifier, array, or give this array modifier. The X factor is gonna be 4. And for the count, we're just gonna let's see, we're just gonna do it manually. Just move it like this. And then let's just straighten these out. GX, just move this. Straighten them out. Okay, we're going to go down here to material properties and we're going to click new, base color. We're just going to take this down, move it down, and make gray color, kind of a dark gray. And then we're going to move the roughness, go down here to the roughness, move it down to about 0.1. Okay, and then I'm going to name this material. We're going to name it metal, M-E-T-A-L. And then now that these are selected, actually let me just name them. You don't have to name everything, but spikes, I'm going to name it spikes. Makes it more organized. So with the spike selected, let's press shift and we're going to select the gate. And we're going to parent those to the gate. So we selected the spikes and then we shift selected on the gate. Now hold control press P. Hold control press P, set parent to object. So those are parented to the gate. Now let's parent the gate to the lower pulley. Just select the gate, then shift select the lower pulley, hold control press P, set parent to object. And just want to do this as we add everything, just so we don't so it's ready to go for the animation. Takes a second here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this this cube that we scaled up, and we're going to let's zoom in a little bit here, put it at an angle, zoom in like this, and press tab to go into edit mode. And then we're going to go up here, we're going to go to face select. You can click on here, or you can press 3 on the keyboard, the regular 3. That'll put you into face select. And then I think you have to deselect everything. Go over here, and then now we're going to select this top face, select that, and then press shift and select the inside face. Then go down here to the bottom face and shift select on that one, and then let's just move it back to the top like this. And what we're going to do is we're going to delete those. Press delete and then delete faces. And you can see we deleted those faces. Now press 1 on the numpad to go back to front view, and then press tab to go back into object mode. We're going to scale this down on the x-axis SX.5. Then we're going to scale it up slightly on the y-axis SY 1.05. Then we're going to scale it up on the z-axis SZ2. And then this is going to be the track for the gate. So G, move this up, move it up, and line it up with the gate. You can go into wireframe view, and then we can just zoom in. And what you want is it so move it so the left side of the track here is there's just a slight gap between the left side of the track and the left side of the gate. So let's go back into material view. And then what we'll want to do is we want to apply all transforms. So hold control press A, apply all transforms, and let's go to modifiers and give this a mirror modifier. Mirror, okay. And then let's go down here to material properties. We're just going to give this the metal material, the same as the spikes. And then let's go up here to the outliner. We can name this track, T-R-A-C-K, track. Okay. Now with the track selected, let's shift select on the gate, and then press 3 on the numpad. So both those are selected, and we're going to move these manually on the y-axis. We're going to move them to the left here. G, Y, just move them so the back of the track is right about at the middle of the pulleys here. You can go into wireframe view to make it more precise like that. Okay, so that's how you want it. Okay, now Press 1 on the numpad, go back to front view. We're going to add a floor. Shift A, mesh, plane. And then let's go an angle like this. So we're going to scale this up S15. And then press 3 on the numpad to go to side view. Okay, we're going to move this on the y-axis to the right, GY. Just move it over here. Move it so, let's zoom in. Move it so this part, the left part, is right in between the winch and the track, and the gate of the track. Okay, so let's move. We're going to move this down on the z-axis, GZ -5. And then we're going to give it a modifier. Give it a solidify modifier, and just put the thickness up to 0.02. And that's our floor. We can give it a material, new, base color, and I'll just give it kind of a brown. Let's see. A little more yellow. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I'll change that later. Okay, so now we're going to add a cube. Shift A, mesh, cube. We're going to scale this up slightly, S, like this, and then we're going to scale it up on the x-axis slightly, SX, like this. Then we're going to move it over on the x-axis, GX, move it over, so it's right next to the winch, like that. And then we're going to, let's see, how do we do this? We're going to press Tab to go into edit mode, and actually this, and then press period on the numpad, go up close. We're going to add loop cuts. So put the cursor up here, and then hold Control, press R, and then left click once, and you have this loop cut. You can move it right here, and then again hold Control, press R, left click once, move this over here. And then we're going to add some horizontal loop cuts. So put this over on this edge, hold Control, press R, left click once, move this up. Again, hold Control, press R, left click once, move this up. And then press 7 on the numpad to go to top view. We're going to add a couple more horizontal loop cuts. Hold Control, press R, left click once, move it up. Hold Control, press R, left click once, move this up. And then what we want to do is we want to go into face select. Okay, so you can click on there or press 3 on the keyboard, the regular 3, and then select this face here, this little face, and then we're going to shift select this little face in the front, and then the same one on the bottom, shift click, shift select, and then shift select the one in the back, and we're going to delete these. Delete faces. Okay, now what I wanted to do, and I think I forgot to do this, press Tab. What we want to do is we want to add a modifier to this. We're going to add a bevel modifier. Bevel. Okay, that worked. Okay. Alright, so add a bevel modifier to that, and then we're going to give it a the wood color here, wood material. And then what you want to do is you want to go back to modifiers. We're going to give it another modifier. I'm going to give it the solidify modifier. I'm going to put this thickness up to 0.08. 0.08. Okay, so that looks like it's made out of wood there. Okay, and right, and I'm going to name this lever box. This is just a name that I made up, lever box. Okay. So in the castles, when the guards wanted to raise the gate, you know, they would have this this long stick, and they would put the stick into the notch here on the top here on the lever box, and then they would just pull it back, and that would rotate the winch and pull the rope and pull the gate up. And then when they did it enough, then the next notch would be on the top. They'd take the stick out and put it in that one. Okay, so I'm going to apply all transforms on this. Hold Control, press A, apply all transforms on. Okay, I'm going to give this another modifier. I'm going to give it the mirror modifier. We applied all transforms. Okay, mirror, and then just mirror that. Now what we need to do is we're going to parent this to the winch, but before we do that, we got to just select the winch by itself, and we need to apply all transforms on the winch. Hold Control, press A, apply all transforms. If you don't do that, the winch is going to be rotating on the x-axis in the animation, and if you don't apply all transforms, it's going to rotate a different way. It might rotate on the z-axis or something. So apply all transforms. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to select the lever boxes again. We want to shift select the winch. We want to parent these to the winch. Control P, set parent to object. Okay. Now we want to add another cube. Shift A, mesh cube. We want to scale this down. S.3, enter. We want to scale it up on the z-axis. SZ30, enter. Okay, and then you want to move it. G, just move it over here to the left of this lever box. And then apply all transforms. Hold Control, press A, apply all transforms, and then we're going to give it a mirror modifier. Mirror. And press 3 on the numpad. Go to side view. We're going to scale this up on the y-axis. SY5. Okay. Okay, I'm going to give this the wood material, and we can name these. I never named these before, but I'll name them side beams. Okay, side beams. Okay. Press 1 on the numpad to go back to front view. We're going to add another cube. Shift A, mesh cube. We're going to scale it down. S.3. We're going to scale it up on the x-axis. SX40. We're going to move this up on the z-axis. GZ. Just move it up here to the top. Press 3 on the numpad to go back to side view. We're going to scale this up on the y-axis. SY10. And then just move it over on the y-axis. Whoop, that didn't. Okay. SY10, enter. We're going to move it over on the y-axis, GY, like this. Give it the wood material. And I just noticed I forgot to name the floor material. Let's make it more organized. Floor. Okay, so anyway, oh, I didn't mean to give that the floor material. Okay. Wood. Okay, so that is the wood material. Okay, so now I'll just name this top beam. Top beam. All right. So all right. Press 1 on the numpad. Now what we need to do is we need to add ropes to here to hold the top the upper pulleys to the top beam, and then ropes to hold the gate to the lower pulley there. So let's start with the top beam here. What we're going to do is we're going to move the 3D cursor here. What you do is you put the cursor, the regular cursor here, and then you press Shift and then right click, and that puts it there. And then you go to side view 3 on the numpad, and we're going to do the same thing on the y-axis. So put the regular cursor right in the center of the pulleys, right about here, and then Shift, right click, and that puts it right where it needs to be. And then press 1 on the numpad, go back to front view,